welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is the Attack the Rack podcast. As always, we got Big Mo and Trent.
Every family party or social event needs something special. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC can do that for you. They provide inflatable bounce houses and water slides on top of great service in the West Michigan Lakeshore area. Call Bounce Master Sam at 616-485-0257 today and mention Attack the Rack to get $25 off your next rental. Also, find Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC on Facebook. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals. All we rent is fun.
Fellas, busy weekend for the both of you. Coach Big Mo, you had another road trip this weekend. Is that accurate? Are we home?
We did.
Road trip to where?
We were in Wisconsin playing a couple of WEAC schools.
All right.
Got a lot of work to do, so
Didn't it go well?
didn't go well. Not as planned.
Okay, not as planned. Okay, all right.
You have
But
2 games or one?
2 games back to back, which is always tough, but we played probably one of the better teams in um, Division Three, so
Okay.
competed better against them, which was nice.
Okay.
Um, and then when do you guys play again now?
I think we're Friday home.
Oh, back in the home court. You gotta like that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be back home.
Yep. And Trent, you guys kicked off your season. Did you guys play twice or once last week? I forget.
Twice. Tuesday,
Twice?
Friday.
Tuesday, Friday, a nice high school schedule. Classic high school basketball, Tuesday nights and Friday nights. And how'd you guys do?
Good. We beat Reese Puffer on Tuesday by what ended up being 14, I think, something like that. And then beat Allendale by 9.
Okay.
That game was a battle.
Yeah.
Very physical, and yeah. They had a kid going to either Olivet or Albion, and he was pretty good.
And you
And then
guys were both those on the road?
both were home.
Both were home. Okay. All right. And then what do you got coming up this week?
And this week we have at West Ottawa Tuesday, home against Jenison on Friday.
Now, West Ottawa was supposed to play your cross the street rival Friday night, but apparently due to that game did not get played because of the football run that Zeeland West went on.
Yeah, I'm very surprised they didn't play.
Yeah, because there's a lot of teams in that situation, but I haven't heard of any other games not being played because of guys playing football
Yeah.
late into
Like Byron Center went and played a big game, and so did who was the other one?
well,
I
Byron,
guess South went pretty far, but South played against Holland Christian.
Byron Center played at least one game before their football team even played in the state finals. They played a game while some of their teammates were still playing football.
Yeah, surprised West Ottawa accepted that, especially
Yeah,
home Friday night game for West Ottawa.
yeah, very interesting.
But I also heard that, not sure if it's true or not, but they played West Ottawa played Mona Shores last week, Tuesday, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then Mona ended up having to forfeit because they had a guy play 7 quarters or something like that.
Oh no.
So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. Yeah, and Mona won by 30.
Oh my gosh. So they had a JV kid that played.
That played 7 quarters.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one way to throw it away.
So I went to a couple high school games this past week myself. I thought this year we were going to have the shot clock in high school basketball here in Michigan. No,
No, not yet.
No.
I know they tried it at a
Yeah, there's
there was
a
like a
couple
winter.
tournaments, tournaments that do it.
Yeah, and they try it there.
So why are we not implementing it? Cost?
Yeah, cost.
Probably cost, and then
extra
they have
person
to
to run it,
Yeah, another worker.
installation.
Huh.
Yeah. But I think it should happen.
Yeah, every year it seems like it's supposed to happen. Never does.
Yeah, because we had we were up like 5 or 6 on Friday with like 3.5 to go, and we had a minute and a half possession and scored at the end of it. So that was just like run motion and then wait for the best shot possible. And it happened. So it took a minute and a half off the clock and we scored. So it was, but I'm for the shot clock. I would prefer a shot clock.
Yeah, I think most people are.
Yeah. More possessions. Um, I don't know. I just like you can do a bunch of different stuff with the shot clock.
Yeah,
I think it'd be beneficial for high school.
definitely. Well, hey guys, we're recording this here on Sunday afternoon. Just a couple of hours ago, the college football playoff bracket was released. Big Mo, initial thoughts?
Um, no, I think it looked. I mean, people are obviously upset Bama didn't get in. Maybe Miami, but in reality, yeah, they play a tougher schedule. They're probably going to have more losses, but I mean, the next step, the next progression, if that's the argument, is just have a have a separate league, a Power Four league, where it's only 25 teams, and then you take the best 10 or 12 at the end and play it out. So I don't think you can put Bam in there with 3 losses. I mean, are they better than SMU? Yeah. Could MSU beat them one time? Sure. I'm sure Alabama could beat all the teams in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So it's never going to be perfect. Get over it. Enjoy it. You know what? Bama be better. Didn't they
Yeah.
lose one bad one anyway?
Yeah. Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So shame on you anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. Because if they don't lose to Vanderbilt, they're probably in.
No,
Exactly.
definitely. I would say they
There you
definitely
go. There you go.
Yeah.
are.
So,
Trent, initial thoughts when you see the bracket?
Um, I don't hate it. I think it's interesting that like Arizona State and Boise get a bye just because they won their conference.
Yeah,
I would kind of think that the top 4 teams in the country get a bye, and then you kind of just play out those other 8. But because it's just weird to see Arizona State with a bye and Boise. But um, it looks good. I'm glad that Bama didn't get in with 3. The Notre Dame thing's interesting as well because they don't play anybody really, and they're not in a conference, and
yeah.
they lost to Northern Illinois at home, I believe.
yeah.
But
So you have no real idea how good they are.
yeah, yep. And like the good win they had is like Army and Navy, maybe, or Georgia Tech, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, especially with like Boise getting a bye, could potentially go to the semis. Um,
I think I would have liked to see Ohio State opposite Oregon somewhere.
yeah, the rematch is
It
potential
will.
in the
If Ohio, if you're saying you would, yeah, I mean, if Ohio
I
State,
would I would have rather seen that in the finals or something. Not
okay,
in the not in the second round.
yeah, yeah, I got you.
yeah, like how
Just
do they determine where on the like
yeah.
it's not like the NCAA tournament where they put them by location,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess I would almost would you rather be on the top side of the bracket or the bottom side? Because neither is really I don't know, it's just like a weird group of teams.
Well,
Yeah.
You'd
I
probably
think
rather be on the bottom with
I hope that starting next year they just let the top 12 teams in and then seed it accordingly instead of having, the five conference winners get an automatic bid, and then four of those five, the best four of those five, get the top four seeds. Because then, yeah, you have teams like Boise State and Arizona State that get a top four seed and a bye.
mm-hmm.
When you got teams like Texas and even Ohio State, I would say even Tennessee, even Penn State, that are probably more deserving of a top four seed than Boise State and Arizona State. And
Hmm.
the whole Notre Dame thing, like you mentioned, Trent, so interesting. Again, the five conference winners of the five, I don't know what they call those conferences anymore. I don't think they call them the Power Five anymore because they're not really the Power Five, but they automatically get in. And again, four of those five, the best four of those five get the top four spots, but then the fifth one can get seated anywhere. And we saw
Yeah,
that, with Clemson, they were the fifth of those five. They get seated last. Um, but then you got Notre Dame, who isn't in a conference, so they're not even eligible for the top four seeds. So if Notre Dame is the number one ranked team in the country this year, if they went undefeated, played an actual schedule, went undefeated, clear cut number one team in the country, they wouldn't be eligible for the top four spots. It makes no sense.
yeah, yep. And I don't know. I just think that even Indiana being 10 with the one loss or two, well, they have one loss,
One
two
loss.
losses, two losses,
No, just the Ohio State.
just Ohio State. Yeah, for them to be 10th with one loss and not playing, like at the time, it was Ohio State was second in the country. So a one loss team to the number two drops you all the way to 10. But Notre Dame loses to Northern Illinois, and then they're still ranked higher. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a weird thing. But looking at the lines, they're all over touchdown favorites
Are you
for
serious?
yeah. Texas is an 11-point favorite.
Even Ohio
Ohio
State?
Ohio State 7.5,
Oh my gosh.
which is way too many because they don't score. Penn State 9-point favorite, which I don't know. I don't think they're that good. And then Notre Dame an 8-point favorite.
And
So
here's the Gert, I hear what you're saying a little bit, and maybe you got, but then I don't know if you would ever like Arizona and Boise would never have a chance to probably get those top seeds. And the
They
issue,
actually might not even have a chance to make the bracket.
well, exactly, but I think because I mean here's the problem, right? Schedules are probably 2 or 3 years in advance,
mhm.
you know, so it's not always, you're trying to figure out if you're going to be good enough to compete with a Power Five or Power Four, whatever you want to call it now. But looking at Boise State's, you know, um, they played Oregon in the second week of the season and only
Almost
lost
beat
by
them.
3.
And
So,
Oregon needed two kick returns for touchdowns to win that
just
game.
right. So I think like they did everything they were supposed to do to probably be where they were at, and for that, I would say they deserve to be. At least I again, we don't know how good they are because they've only had a chance to play two ranked teams.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll find out, quickly in the second week if it's real or not.
Yeah, and I think it's weird that Boise gets a bye for like they just jump over. They went from what 10 to 3, so they just jumped all those other teams
Other
that
teams, yeah.
are
And I
probably
just
better than they are.
Yeah, and I think they are, but I guess they would never if they didn't have that automatic four, then you probably would have never taken them in the top four because
No,
Hmm.
they couldn't have proved otherwise.
I do think this year though, Boise State still would have made the bracket.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, again, they beat a top 20 team in UNLV to end the season, and
Yeah.
I think you got to look at that. Or I mean, Oregon has been pretty darn dominant. I mean, obviously last night it was a little closer, but I'm not sure they ever felt too worried about it.
Yeah.
Uh, And obviously, like you said, Boise, it took a two crazy kick returns to get to Oregon to win that game. So
Another thing to look at is Penn State has two losses, Ohio State has two losses, but Ohio State beat Penn State. But Penn State's the sixth seed, Ohio State's the eighth seed. So does that mean the committee is rewarding Penn State for making the Big Ten championship game?
Yeah, I would think so.
yeah, probably right because that you don't want that loss to count against them, I guess, right?
Yeah.
especially when it's to the number one team in the country.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see it all how it all plays out. It'll be interesting to see if any changes are made to how they do this next year, fellas. On our next episode, let's make sure let's fill out a bracket and we'll go over our brackets for on the next episode.
And also, the playoff stretches out a month.
Yeah,
I
more than the
mean,
month. The championship game is until January 20.
yeah, first games are the 21st.
So we're talking 6 weeks from now, we'll finally have a champion.
Yeah.
6, 7 weeks, 6.5 weeks.
21st championship game on the 20th.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. So the whole playoffs take a month, but there's also 2 weeks from
And
now. So
the break to the games. Yeah. Yep. And I understand you don't want them to play like 2 games a week or that kind of thing, but you could do like a Saturday, Friday or that type. But yeah, it's gonna feel like it takes forever.
I wonder too how these teams that are, going to be playing well into January, almost February, how does that affect the portal for them? As far as guys on their roster wanting to get into the portal and them recruiting guys that are in the portal without knowing what they need.
Yeah.
Well, it makes it tougher.
Yeah.
Makes it much tougher.
It'd be interesting to see after a couple years of this if the teams that make I mean, obviously besides the top, your top Power Four teams, because they're always going to be good. But you get some of these teams like Arizona State or Boise State. If they can't get into the portal quick enough, do they suffer?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so
probably.
do you see them in the playoffs one year and then out the next automatically no matter what, even though maybe they return their best player, they're not maintaining or retaining the kind of all the other important pieces around them.
Right. Yeah. Hey, one other thing, college football wise, what are you guys thinking? Who are you guys thinking for Heisman?
Genty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Mo.
I don't know enough. I want to watch. I wish Arizona State was playing in the first round so I could watch one of these games with that
Oh yeah,
Scabito.
he's good too.
They say he's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
What are his stats compared to Genty?
Let's find out.
Are they even close? I
Genty's
got
got
I got I got his stats pulled up if you get Jenny's.
you have the
Uh,
Arizona State running back.
yeah. Skatebo?
Yeah, something funky.
Scatabo?
Where is it?
The weird thing is like you never get to watch those teams play out there, out west.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you want to watch like a midnight game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kick off past our bedtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Genty has 344 carries for 2,497 yards and 29 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. That's not even close. Wow. He's
Uh,
got this guy, the Arizona State running back has 260 carries, 1,600 yards, 19 touchdowns. That's
yeah,
still pretty darn good.
That
that's
is
really
pretty
good.
good. Yeah. And then Genty has 20 catches for 116 yards and 1 touchdown.
So it's going to come down to Genty or Hunter. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know where I lean. I mean,
Genty's in the playoff.
Genty's in the playoff. He's also I mean, he's had the best outside of Barry Sanders, the best season for a running back in college football history, right?
Yeah.
What's Genty's size and like how tall and how big?
He is 5'9", 215.
Okay,
A lot like Barry.
interesting.
And I guess it's hard to know what to do with, with Travis Hunter because
Yeah.
is he only the kind of the favorite or is he in the discussion because he simply plays two positions? Like, could you argue, well, if he's gonna win the Heisman or be a candidate, he needs to be good enough at one of those two alone to win the Heisman. Like if he was a wide receiver, he's got to be good enough as a wide receiver to win the Heisman. If he's going to win it as a defensive back, he's got to be good enough to win it solely as a defensive back.
Yeah.
Or
How do you win
because
it at both, or do you give it to him just because he does play both very
right.
well?
And I think he would be he might very well be a candidate at both positions. I'm not 100% sure. But if he's not, if he's a sub if he's a second tier wide receiver and a second tier defensive back, is he being rewarded simply because he plays both, even though he doesn't play one of the two good enough to win the Heisman? I don't know if that would be fair, but I'm not saying that's the case.
Hmm.
I think he is a front runner to win. Um, I can't think of the award, but the award for the best wide receiver in the country. I think he's the favorite to win that.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I don't know. It's tough because Genty's just been dominant all year, and there was 4 games where he only played a half and still ran for 200 yards,
Jeez.
which is yeah. Because I remember I had a bet on him to have 2 touchdowns and 96 yards, something like that. And then in the first half, he had 2 touchdowns, 192 yards, and then they didn't play him in the second half. Yeah, so I needed 4 yards,
Oh my
and
gosh.
he didn't take a snap. But I mean, plus if he did play the rest of those games, he'd probably be over 2,600 yards on the year with a few more touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can penalize or like quarters played kind of thing if that really comes into play because that's like a game and a half essentially of him not playing
Yeah.
just because they were winning by so much.
Well, Big Mo, it sounds like you probably eliminated your Arizona State back. If it comes down to um, Gentry and Travis Hunter, who you got?
I mean, it'd be, you know what? I think if BYU or if Boise can win one game in the playoffs, I'm probably leaning towards. Yeah, I look at the teams that Colorado's played, and they're just not very good.
No, exactly. And you could say that for Boise as well, except for they did play Oregon.
Yeah, and they beat the last game was a decent team. So I think if they can
Oh,
get a if they can compete in a even a playoff game, make it close. I think that's something you got to consider a little bit. I know it's maybe not. Again, that's hard. That's because is he? He's probably going to be a top pick in the draft.
Yeah.
I don't know where Gentry. He probably doesn't have quite as high as a draft status, even though I think he's entering it.
Mhm.
Um, if Colorado didn't have Hunter, they probably wouldn't have been as good as they were.
no.
Either would Boise State, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But I'm looking, trying to look through some of this.
Well, here's the thing. You mentioned if uh, Genty wins a playoff game, the Heisman's going to get announced before the college playoffs even start.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter then. Okay,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. The hard part I think is I think when Woodson won it, right?
Yeah,
Was that a that was the national championship team, right, for Michigan.
yeah,
So I think that made that hey, well, here's your best team, and he was probably their best player. And
yeah.
with
And
Colorado, with Hunter, uh, I feel like it'd be tough, even though, because what could there be other guys that could play both positions? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we'll see more of that now that Hunter's done it.
I bet you there is, but it's just not a very smart thing to do.
Yeah, that too.
Because you look
Just
at it wasn't like Charles Woodson didn't play a ton on offense. He played a
No,
few
no,
offensive plays every game, but he wasn't like playing every single down.
no, no.
So I mean, he won it as a defensive back and as a kick returner, punt returner.
Yeah, yeah.
He
No,
didn't win it as a he didn't win it as a dual
I
point.
think the uniqueness of it is hey, that's pretty amazing what Travis Hunter did. There probably nobody has done what he did.
yeah.
Um, But does that mean he's the best college football player?
right? On a
Uh,
team that didn't even make the playoffs.
yeah.
True. Yeah. Do you have any you like kind of feel bad at all for how bad the bowl games are going to be this year?
I mean,
Or no, not at all.
it's been trending that way for ever since they started the playoff, and now that they've expanded it from 4 to 12. I mean, nobody who even has a sniff at being drafted in the NFL, I would think, is gonna
Playing those.
play.
Play, yeah.
And
Yeah.
even if you're under, even if you're not entering the draft this year, if you still have if you're a high level player who's going to be drafted, why play in a meaningless game? They're just exhibition games now that really mean nothing.
Yeah. And they took the four main bowl games and moved them to the quarterfinals,
Yeah, so
which
weird.
I guess is smart on those companies to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, it almost probably has to be, right? Because otherwise,
Yeah.
you're gonna. I mean, at some point, these bowl games are gonna not exist,
Yeah,
and it's
but
just gonna be. It's gonna be. They're gonna be part of the college playoff.
Yeah.
yeah, or maybe they're gonna just I don't know because they make so much money with television and
Well, I think they have, but I bet if you really dug into it, and I have not, so I don't know for sure, but there's got to be some loss here for it. It can't be worthwhile for the companies to continually fund these bowl games and pay the colleges.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because who's gonna watch the Bad Boy
and
Mowers bowl
yeah,
game?
and you see nobody, you hardly see anybody at these games.
You're right.
True.
Outside the top 4 to 6 of them.
Especially the ones that you don't put in like nice warm locations for teams that are coming from like the Northeast or the North.
Yeah,
Like if you're putting them somewhere, like you look at the where's the one they play in Detroit? What's that?
Yeah,
Motor
which
City Bowl.
yeah, and that usually includes like a Mac school, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. Because if it was in like Arizona or Southern California or Florida, more people would go because they can use it as like a mini vacation and it's warm weather. But yeah, so you got the Peach Bowl, which will be the Arizona State and either Clemson or Texas. Rose Bowl will be either Ohio State, Tennessee, Oregon. Fiesta Bowl, Boise. What'd you get a second round playoff matchup? Boise State versus SMU.
Oh, jeez.
Or the Sugar Bowl, which will be the winner of Indiana Notre Dame plays Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
How
other
about
bowls that
this?
are gonna
How
take a
about
hit
this? Just I don't know. Is this just in? Breaking news: Michigan
break.
will play Alabama.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. See,
But
ReliaQuest Bowl, December 31st.
where's that one in Florida?
Tampa.
Yeah. See, I had heard, and obviously they had to wait they were probably waiting to see if Alabama got in. But I had heard that bowl was possibly going to be a Michigan Florida matchup.
Huh.
Obviously, they'd rather have Bama.
Wow.
why would Bama play Michigan? Because if
Well,
they lose, then it's like
Then you really didn't belong
well,
then
in
you got to
there.
continue to listen to Michigan fans. And if
and they
Alabama wins, Michigan's like, well, we were supposed to lose.
Well, again, it doesn't. Who knows who's going to win? I would never even dream of betting on these games. Look at Ohio State last year. None of their guys played, and they got destroyed by who again?
Who was it? Utah?
Yeah, I mean, that could be very well be the same situation this year. Alabama probably has more draft prospects than Michigan, so their
But,
guys aren't going to play.
yeah,
And
but why is Michigan going to play a good team when they should be playing the Motor City Bowl against
Just because
Northern Illinois?
they're will travel.
yeah, they'll bring
You
a
got
bunch.
some fans going
Yeah, like it'll be a full stadium probably.
because it always used to be like the two ranked teams
Yeah,
like down the
down the
line.
way. Nope. All about money. Money, money, money.
Hmm.
Money, money,
Um,
money.
all right, well let's transfer now to the NFL. Detroit Lions. We're just going to talk some Lions here, fellas. I put together a few statements that I'd like to make. And all I need from you, well, you can, I would, I'd love it if you'd explain why, but it's simple as true or false. No in between. You either think the statement's true or you think the statement is false, and then give us a little bit of why you came to that conclusion. All right.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Trent, you
Yep.
got it.
Gotcha.
All right. Big Mo. Only 5 of the 12 wins the Lions have this season have come against teams above 500. True or false? This is a concern.
It's probably true, but not a concern.
Well, it is true.
Yeah.
Is
Oh, I
it
thought
true or false that it's a concern?
no, not a concern.
Not a concern. Okay.
No. You can only play, I mean, the schedule comes out, you can only play who you play.
No, I know. I'm not saying
And you
that.
know what? They have the teams that they have beaten, which is everybody but Tampa. You know, the ones with winning records are probably in the top, what, 10 of the, yeah, top 12 of the NFL.
Yeah,
Min-
Packers,
Minnesota.
Vikings, and
Yeah.
Arizona is one game over 500. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? And your
Or
true
no, no,
test
no,
comes
no, no,
here.
no. I
Oh,
was wrong. Arizona's 500. Seattle is a game above. So
okay.
Seattle. Yeah.
Yep.
So
So you
Seattle, Minnesota, Green Bay twice, and the Houston Texans.
you can only play the teams that are on your schedule. So no concerns. We're gonna see Buffalo here in the next week or next week. This
Yeah.
week.
Next week.
Next week.
Um, we'll see Minnesota. Or no, who do we got? We got one more left, right?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, yeah.
And Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago.
but we're saying against teams above 500, Buffalo and
Mm.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and they're
Minnesota's going to win today.
What's that?
Minnesota's going to win today, too.
Yeah. Trent, what do you think on
I'm
that?
not, no, I'm not concerned.
Okay.
No, not at all. I think, I don't know. I thought personally they were going to lose to the Packers just because of injuries and being banged up, but they played really well. Um, so no, I'm not too concerned about that.
All right, Trent, speaking of banged up, the Lions defense has had a ton of injuries. They're currently what half their starters on defense are not original starters, 2 of which they just picked up a week ago or a few days before their last game. Trent, true or false? The injuries on defense will prevent the Lions from getting the #1 seed in the NFC.
Mm, false. Because I think we are the better team across the board. It's just so difficult that our division is so good and the Vikings keep winning. But beating the Packers was good. But I'm not too worried about the defense continues to step up and perform and play really well.
They're manageable.
Yeah, they are manageable. Yeah. So I think our defense is good enough and they're all bought into what's being sold. So I think they just keep week by week and continue to get better. And
And they're going to get a bunch of those guys back.
yeah, and the offense is so good that hopefully they can just keep outscoring teams.
All right. Big Mo, defense, true or false, going to keep us from getting the #1 seed.
no, I think we'll be okay. I think I did hear during Thursday's game that they were the #2 ranked scoring defense. So maybe a little better than manageable. But obviously, with all the injuries right now, it is manageable, and they're finding a way. Um, and yeah, so I think we'll be fine. I hope we drop one of our last three because I mean, I don't want to say I hope. That's probably
Yeah,
strong.
that alone could prevent us from getting the #1 seed.
True. I just don't know. Man, I mean, if we finish 13-1.
You mean 15,
I mean,
16 and
sorry, what is, how many they play now? 17?
yeah, 16 and 1.
16-1? Like if we finish 16-1, I mean, think of all the years that we have gone just abysmal
Yeah.
to 16-1.
Yeah, and
Uh,
then you only get the home field advantage by one game.
Well,
yeah.
that's the thing is I think we do have to go 16-1 because the Eagles are playing so well that and they've got the two losses. I don't see them losing.
No, probably not. But they are the Panther ball right now with 4th and 9 with 30 seconds left. Uh, Eagles are up 6, so
Okay.
big 4th down coming here for the Panthers.
All right, Big Mo, true or false? Jared Goff is a good enough quarterback to lead the Lions to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you're telling me I mean, Brock Purdy led San Fran to the Super Bowl last year, fellas. So I'll
Well,
take,
sorry, I forgot the last word.
oh,
Win.
win the Super Bowl.
Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl already with the
Yeah,
Rams, but
yeah,
did not win. So,
yeah.
true or
Did
false?
you add?
Jared Goff is a good enough quarterback to win the Super Bowl for the Detroit Lions this season.
I think he is because I think we've surrounded him with just as good as talent as he has himself. So I think the weapons around him allow him to elevate his game, and he definitely can lead us into the Super Bowl and possibility of winning it.
All right, Trent, true or false? Jared Goff is a good enough quarterback to lead this year's Detroit Lions team to a Super Bowl win.
I say true because there's been a few games this year to where he's really only had to do the least amount of work to still get us to win a game. Um, I forget what game that was, but we just handed it off and ran down their face the entire game. And I could see that happening in the playoffs. So I think he's good enough to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. Trent, true or false? The Lions cannot make it to the Super Bowl without home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
False.
Okay.
Um, I dare they try to
What if they got up?
underestimate the Lions going into Philly and winning in Philly.
All right, because that was going to be my next question. Do you think they can win if they got to go outdoors in a cold climate?
Yeah, give me Philly outside.
All right. Big Mo, true or false? The Lions cannot make it to the Super Bowl without home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
Uh, totally false. My goodness gracious. We got Dan Campbell leading us. He'll eat that. He'll eat the home. He'll eat all that up, spit it back out to his guys, and they'll, you know, like it'll be like us. It's Detroit versus the world.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so I got no worries where we play, who we play. We're gonna have a chance.
Did you see the post game with Campbell?
He was
Oh
fired.
And he was like Skip. He like panned over to Skipper, and Skipper's throwing up in the trash can,
yeah, yeah,
and he's like, "Skipper, you're the man." He leaves it all out on the field. He's just like hyping up Skipper. He's like, "Keep doing what you're ever doing. You keep puking or whatever you're doing." And he's just like on a knee over the trash, just like, yeah. Wow,
Uh,
they're great.
all right, Big Mo, speaking of Dan Campbell,
yeah.
true or false? Dan Campbell going for it on fourth down will cost them an opportunity to be Super Bowl champs.
No, you know what? His last one was very calculated. Like, why not? If you think you can get that first down in the game, which is what he did, your defense doesn't have to go back out there. You control your own destiny. So I got no. I don't think any. Keep being Dan Campbell.
All right, let me ask you this: you know you've coached a lot of football. Um, do you think the Lions have a certain set of plays that are intended for these fourth and ones?
Yeah,
So at some point, do they run out of these plays? You know, every defense that they play has scouted all these fourth and ones. They know every play that the Lions have run on fourth and one. Is it a concern that at some point they don't have any new fourth and one plays to surprise the defense with?
No, because as soon as you think you have it figured out, they play action on 4th and 1, and now they're running. They're throwing a 30-yard bomb on you. So no, I think they're week by week they probably add and take stuff out of that. Week by week, it's what they're going to see defensively in a short yardage situation. So you don't run out of that stuff.
All right.
And Campbell said it best, right? We'll give the other team the play. Our guys are just going to be better. Let's give them the play and let's just see if we can run it right down your throat.
Execute the play better than the defense can execute their plan to stop.
That's what it's all about usually.
All right, Trent, true or false? Dan Campbell going for it on 4th down will cost them an opportunity to be Super Bowl champions.
I hope not.
You could argue,
Oh,
you could argue that it did last.
yeah, I would hope not. I think I don't know, I've sensed a dial back on some of those. Recently, there's a few that I thought he was going to go for just regular games, but he ended up punting. So I think he may have learned his lesson for the most part. The 4th and inches was pretty ballsy the other night, but I kind of understand it because you make them have to go 70 yards to kick a field goal either way. But I don't think it's going to cost. I don't think he's going to do that to himself or the team. So I think he's kind of learned from a couple of those early on in his career and probably won't make the same mistake again.
All right, well, we got one more here, and all three of us had this true going into the season. Let's see if it's changed at all. My guess based on this conversation we've just had, the answer to this last one is still going to be true. I'm mind boggled about that comment we got a couple weeks ago about us not being believers in the Lions. I don't know what we've ever said that it would lead anyone to believe that we are not believers. But let's wrap this up. Trent, true or false? The Lions will win the Super Bowl.
True.
All right. Big Mo, true or false? The Lions will win the Super Bowl.
True.
All right, we are believers.
We're going to go to the parade if they win, yeah?
That'd be awesome. I'd love to.
We'll just live stream it.
There you go. Set it up.
That'd be sweet.
All right, let's that was fun. Let's wrap up the episode here with top 3. We have for the last week or so we've been hit off and on with some snow. We got some really, really nice accumulation, which over the last day and a half here is starting to melt, but it will be back. So in honor of winter, in honor of snow, let's go top 3 winter/snow activities, outdoor activities.
Real Estate Ryan has been in real estate for over 20 years and can help you with all your real estate needs. Realtor Ryan has helped me in my journey in learning about real estate, and he can do the same for you, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just learn more about real estate in general. Ring Realtor Ryan.
Trent, what do you got with that wheel?
Wow.
There we go.
These are things we just like to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me shuffle the names, and here we go. Big Mo.
Sure.
You can take your choice of where you want to draft.
We'll go number 1.
All right.
And then second option is Kurt.
I'll go 3rd.
All right. Lead us off, Big Mo.
I'm gonna go number 1. Again, these are things I would do outside if it was snowing.
That's what we're looking for.
All right. I'm gonna go outside and let's start a little fire. Maybe have a cup of Joe or a nice adult beverage.
Around the bonfire, outdoors, I like it. Yep.
Yeah, we spent a COVID winter doing that, Kurt. So
And we did. That was fun.
yeah.
Speaking of that, what's the status on your little backyard fire pit?
Oh, it's still available.
Is it? Okay.
Oh yeah,
All right.
ready to go anytime.
All right. Trent, you got the second pick.
All right. Well, I hate winter, so um, I don't have a ton of activities I like to do outside. So let's go with sledding as number one.
All right.
Whoa! Who as a
I,
8-year-old boys, everybody used to love to sled.
well, I'll be honest with my list. I thought back to, when I was younger, because
Yeah,
Trent, I'd love to do a bonfire, but
Hey,
yeah,
I'm going with what I like to do right now, guys.
okay.
Sorry.
I
Maybe,
like that. Stay inside and watch football. Is that a choice?
Yeah. Hey, that was number 2 on my list.
Yeah.
all right, so here's a classic one that I'll use for my first pick here, and in round one. I've got outdoor snow football.
Oh,
Playing
sure.
football in the snow. You don't have to worry so much about getting hurt.
We're taking a little two-hand touch or is tackle?
You always
Gotta be
got to play
tackle in the
tackle in the
snow.
snow.
Sure.
Always got to play tackle in the snow. And then
Sure.
um my first pick for the second round, one thing I loved doing when I was younger is building snow forts.
Oh,
Igloos,
classic.
perhaps.
Classic.
Yep.
We always used to build it. We live right next to the school, and they would pile huge parking lot full of snow. So it would be like 10, 15 feet high, 20 feet wide, and you just dig tunnels through that.
Tunnels,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
so fun.
Um,
Back to me.
yeah, back to you, Trent.
Golly. You know, every once in a while, I'll throw on some ice skates.
Oh, come on.
I can ice
Really?
skate a little bit. Not very good as I can rollerblade, but I can ice skate.
Wow.
So
We
let's go
should,
with some ice skating.
we should get some video footage of that.
And if you want, you could turn that into some ice hockey as well.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not figure skating, just joy riding.
Yep.
Joyride. Number 2, huh?
Yeah, you got two.
Got 2 back to back here.
Back to back.
Back to back. I'm gonna go with number 2. How about a little hot tub
Nice.
Oh,
in the
good one.
snow? Well, maybe, a little hot cup of cocoa. And then number 3, then I'm gonna say, how about hopping on a plane and going to warm weather?
Uh,
Got
vacation.
him.
Well, I just did the opposite of that last week and came from a warm weather climate to the snow.
Yeah, you brought the snow with you.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, Trent, your last pick.
My last pick. Let's go with driving around and checking out all the Christmas lights.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like doing that. Little
little
joyride.
a little parade of homes type of thing, huh?
Yeah. Yep. And you go check out everybody's Christmas lights.
yeah. And then maybe you find a vacant parking lot while you're out and about and do a few donuts.
Yeah.
There you
Hey,
go.
there's a great little light show down in Fenville.
Oh,
Everyone get out and about down at Crane's Orchard.
okay.
Little Christmas light show thing they got going on down there.
They put it like through all the orchards and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You just drive through. Everything's on the sides.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. All home. All they built it all themselves.
Sweet.
Nice. All right, I guess I'll wrap it up then. Round three, last pick. I'm gonna go the classic snowball fight.
Oh, oh,
Snowball fight. Maybe you build a little wall too with the snow, so you can go, up and down, protect yourself.
Oh yeah.
But a good old fashioned snowball fight was always a lot of fun.
How about that? Now we don't have any snow because it was 50 degrees yesterday. So
I,
we're,
I was
we're
thinking about golfing today for crying out loud.
yeah, we're back to nothing.
Guys, I look at my list and everything's been said: football, hockey, snowball fight, building a fort, sledding. Oh, here's one that didn't get said. Skiing, either cross country or downhill.
Yeah, I don't trust myself.
Right?
Not skiing downhill at like Crystal Mountain. Nope.
Seems too dangerous. I
Yeah, I'm not
I
doing
think
that.
it'd be fun if you knew how to do it, but
I agree.
I've gone downhill one time and just stayed on the small hills, but um, I did
Like
get it.
you and all the 7-year-olds.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I
I
did
would
get
probably just jump right out there to the big one and just give it a go.
I did get a pair of cross country skis one year for Christmas when I was a kid, and we had a pretty good neighborhood where you could go all over the place and cross country ski. That was pretty fun.
pretty neat.
And my neighbors used to have a snowmobile, and we would hook a tube up to the back
Oh yeah.
and go out to the cornfield behind the house.
That'd be fun too. Seems
Roll
dangerous
around
at
on there.
times, but
Very much, yeah.
yeah,
Random stalks that got half cut.
yeah. Oh, jeez.
Big Mo, I can't believe you didn't say Christmas caroling.
Well, it was next on my list. I prefer my top three first, and then it was caroling number 4, Kurt.
Do a little door to door.
Yeah.
Well, you just don't see that anymore, do you?
No, but hey, Kurt, if you want to go out, let me know.
All right. All right.
We could do it as a tandem.
Yeah.
I'll record for content purposes.
Yes. We need someone to film it.
We should just do one house just to see.
See what
See
happens.
what they do. Knock on the door. What's a
That'd
good
be
Christmas song? What's a
that'd be
good
great.
Jingle bells.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Dashing.
Get started. We'll go out with jingle bells. Let's go.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
That would probably be some pretty good content.
it probably would be. Think about it.
All right. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
All right. Next episode, we'll go through our predictions for the college football playoff. And that probably be Wednesday. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Ooh, how about top 3 Christmas songs, Kurt?
Oh, okay. Let's do that. Next episode, top 3 will be Christmas songs.
We'll lead it off with a Christmas carol. Some of your neighbors.
You must sing 30 seconds of each song that you put out.
Yeah, let's go like 5 seconds.
Oh, all right. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
Later.